Hey now, everybody, it's the Rob from Kiss 106 here with my tag team partner in podcasting. Please, everybody, welcome to the show, the Ayatollah of rock and rolla, Mr. Jerry Valeri. Good morning, Jer.
We've been like Oscar getting ready for a WrestleMania feud, non-existent for the whole week.
Guys, let me take over here. I am so sorry. If anyone is listening to any of the Town Square Media radio stations this week, you know that we've been hit by some crazy nonsense that took literally all of our computers down. We were not allowed to connect any device to the internet. Therefore, we could not blog, we could not podcast, anything like that. So I sincerely apologize. It wasn't anybody's fault this week. Obviously, we wouldn't want to do this the week prior to WrestleMania, Jer.
Road to WrestleMania and all four tires blow.
So anyway, we are here now. We could not. I'm sorry for the audio quality, but we're doing the best that we possibly can. And if someone could give me like some sort of thumbs up on my cell, I'm not connected to Facebook right now, but if you got my number, I'd love to. Or even Facebook Messenger is fine. Just let us know because obviously we're doing it old school today. But if you can hear us okay, or if someone's not right, let us know, please, because we want to bring you this predictions episode as good as we can.
Absolutely. Before we get into it, we always talk about your wrestling shirts. We always talk about the clothes that you're wearing. Today, it's not necessarily a wrestling shirt. You're wearing your player one. I'm assuming your beautiful wife, Brittany, is wearing her player two. And sitting at your house, waiting for a body, is the player three onesie. Congratulations, Rob and Brittany, having a baby.
Thank you, pal. That's really nice of you to say. We finally have been able to say something. And the post universe growing by one September.
And you gave the gender already?
It's a boy, pal.
Oh, see, I've known for a while, and I suck at secrets. So like anytime anybody would talk about anything, I was so afraid I was gonna blow it on the air. I was so afraid I was gonna blow it. So it's out now. Player three and player three. Ding dong.
Don't use your pinky for him, pal.
Oh, sorry. Unfortunately, your new baby boy is not going to get a shot at a WrestleMania main event because that's for women only now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little boy. And I feel like God was probably just like, damn, pal, this guy's got too many wrestling shirts to have him have a little girl. You know what I mean?
Okay. You'll get a girl at some point. We had the girl first, and it was awesome. Everyone was like, oh, you got to have a boy. You want to have a boy. And the boy is amazing. But I'm better at throwing tea parties than I am baseballs, bub. So.
Okay. And I would agree with what you just said and also apply that to me. But I'm better at throwing Mario parties than I am at throwing tea parties.
Yes. Well, and the Mario party just grew by one. Again, on behalf of the entire Post to Post universe, congratulations, Rob and Britt.
And also, as you know, I'm good at throwing WrestleMania parties. So hopefully this little guy will like wrestling and video games. Otherwise, I'm screwed.
Well, if he doesn't like wrestling, there's always adoption. That's always an option.
Okay, let's see.
I have 16 matches, pal, for WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, holy cow, that's a lot. That's what I have too.
And I did a little research over the past week or so. I've been watching. I watched WrestleMania 17. I watched WrestleMania 18. I watched WrestleMania 8. I've just been going all over the place watching matches.
How nice.
Been watching parts of WrestleMania 13. And then I started looking online how many matches were at each WrestleMania. And we didn't get into double-digit matches for WrestleMania until recently.
Wait a minute. There's no way, because I remember, well, first of all, four had the tournament.
Well, yeah, okay, if you count a tournament, but like WrestleMania 17 had 9 matches. That was it.
I feel like I have to challenge that. I might be wrong, but I feel like the Sergeant Slaughter one or the Ultimate Warrior one. So what's that? 8? No. 7 and 6.
Yeah.
6 and 7. I feel like one of those had to have double-digit matches.
I didn't check those two, but I will if you want to get us into wrestling. I was looking around at them randomly, and I never saw one over 8, 7, 6.
Yeah, I just want to call a challenge on that real quick. I don't want to get us derailed, but I just know 6 or 7 went double digits.
WrestleMania. Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we're only one shy. WrestleMania 6 is 15. You were right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So.
But then it got away from that, and they were like 8 and 9.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like those matches weren't, what we expect out of wrestling today.
Yeah.
So this one has 16 matches on the card. It's going to be a long night for everybody. It's going to be a long weekend for everybody, but I plan on doing it all. And by doing it all, I mean, I plan on watching Hall of Fame tonight. I plan on watching NXT tomorrow. I plan on watching WrestleMania on Sunday, putting it on and give as much attention as I can.
Flip it, pal. They flipped it. NXT's tonight.
Really?
Yes.
Did they just recently flip that?
NXT is tonight and Hall of Fame is tomorrow night.
I didn't realize that. Thank you for telling me that.
Absolutely. But you'll still watch it. I mean, it's still on TV.
Changes nothing about what I'm doing, but are you planning on doing all those things? If you're not, it's okay.
I am and I'm not, but just not live. Like tonight is NXT, but I'm going to a friend's house for like a beer tasting party. So I'm doing that and then coming back, and that's that. Then tomorrow night, I'm hosting an event at the State Theater downtown. And so when that's over around 10 or 11, I'll come home and watch the Hall of Fame. And then Sunday, I'm watching All Mania. It starts at 5 at my house. Kickoff show, I'll watch it. I don't know what all's on the kickoff, but I know at least one match is on the kickoff.
It'll be on in my house. How much I'm paying attention to the kickoff is whatever. But by the way, if anyone, I know we're still gaining viewers. If we sound okay, I'd love a thumbs up today. So because we have to do a little bit old school thanks to whatever happened to our radio stations. Also want to say let's just bypass Raw and SmackDown. I'll just quickly say that I thought with the 5 hours between the two shows, they wasted 4 of them.
They wasted at least 4 of them. In SmackDown, I still think I liked SmackDown more, but other than the Kofi Daniel Bryan thing, they didn't. Nothing really moved ahead. You could miss both shows and still be ready for WrestleMania. Yeah.
So, all right then. I actually gave the win to Raw, and I think my favorite segment from Tuesday's show, if I can remember correctly, was actually AJ and RKO, but whatever.
I thought that I actually made a note at the end of the show that Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan could have been a promo of the year, just an early candidate. I liked it a lot.
Okay. I think I like that other AJ and RKO one from earlier in this feud better. The one that Cornish liked a lot.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I think that that might be my contender still, but let's hope that we can do better. Want to jump into the predictions, pal?
We'll jump into it. I have mine written down. I'm ready for you. Do you want me to present them or do you just want to alternate?
Yeah, let's start at the bottom. I don't care who presents them.
I've got kickoff Buddy Murphy, cruiserweight Tony Nese.
Okay. You want me to start?
Go for it, pal.
Some of these things I thought very hard about. Some of these matches I just kind of knee-jerked. I think that WWE recognizes Buddy Murphy as the best in the division, and I don't see them taking the title off of him on Sunday. And I don't think I think whenever the title comes off of Murphy, I will get that night wrong because I think I'm always just going to say Buddy Murphy when he's defending that title.
I feel like I agree with you wholeheartedly. When you're looking at 16 matches on a card, just like WrestleMania, some matches are going to get more time than others. This match gets no time from us. I also say Buddy Murphy.
Okay. What do you have next?
Well, I guess I have it further down on my list, but that's only because you told me about it halfway through my list. I think the Raw Tag Titles could be on this list because this match is crap.
Yeah, it's a last minute announcement. I believe they announced it yesterday. And I guess they're taking the Raw Tag Team titles, the Revival, and they're putting them on the line against Ryder and Hawkins.
I'm very confused by this. I feel like they've been telling a very good story with the Revival and Ricochet and Aleister Black. And I mean, that's the story they've been telling. Aleister Black and Ricochet keep beating their butts, but they can't get the win. They can't get the belts. And so what do? They take Ricochet and Aleister Black and they put them on SmackDown for those titles and give this to Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. It's baffling. No consistency.
It is really strange. And I guess I thought about the idea of giving Zack Ryder another WrestleMania moment.
Kurt Hawkins, his first win in 3 years.
Oh, man, I didn't even think about that. See, that's you thinking again and me just not.
What'd you pick?
I picked the Revival, although you just made a very convincing argument for the other side.
I know I did, but I still didn't even convince myself of that. I said the Revival as well. I said the Revival as well. All right. Next, we've got the Women's Jobber Battle Royal.
Okay. I actually like my choice here. Now, I have a list of women that are confirmed for the Battle Royal, the Fabulous Moolah, the non-Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal.
Yes, don't say Moolah.
And the person I'm picking is not on the list of confirmed superstars.
Okay.
But I've got a choice. So do you want to...
All right. I can go first because you've given the other two. Mine is very predictable, very chalk, and almost so safe that it probably guarantees it won't be her, but I have Asuka.
Interesting. I'm actually going to pick Lacey Evans on this one.
Oh, at some point they have to do something with my girl.
I hear that Vince's rod for her is like through the ceiling. And I believe he really has faith in Lacey Evans. And you got to bring her out at some point, and this might be an explosive way to get things started.
That's a really great guess. That's a good one. I like that a lot more than I had. Asuka, and my number 2 was Ruby Riott. Lacey Evans wasn't even on my radar for this.
But again, Lacey Evans is not on my list of confirmed superstars, so I don't know how confident to feel about it.
Taking a gamble.
If I needed to look at the list of confirmed, you know what? I haven't even really done that, so I won't. I'm just gonna say Lacey Evans. That's the way I feel.
Lacey Evans, I like it. Next, we could do the Saturday Night Live Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Okay, I actually feel good about this one too. Strangely.
Okay, I feel okay with mine too.
All right. So of the confirmed superstar, I was gonna read through them, but damn pal, I'll just pass.
It's just everybody that's not in a match.
So I feel like I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going to take Colin Jost.
Oh my God. I was wondering if you were going to take one of the SNL guys.
I am. I'm taking specifically Colin Jost.
Colin Jost, not Michael Che.
Taking Colin.
Okay. So I actually have Colin Jost and Michael Che being the reason that Braun Strowman doesn't win this. The reason I can confidently say Braun Strowman doesn't win this is because I think he leaves the ring to beat their ass and never comes back.
Okay.
I think I'm going to give it to Andrade. Ilidolo.
Interesting.
I feel like, and if you look at the former winners, Baron Corbin and who was it? Not Jinder Mahal, but someone else. And Mojo Rawley. So it's not like they use this as a springboard for anybody. But if anyone could use a little more heat to the heat they already have, a little bit more of a push, it's Andrade. I think he's the one they need to push the most in that battle royal. So I put him in there.
Big thanks to Steve. He says we sound good. Gave us the thumbs up. So thank you,
Steve. Colin Jost. That's the only time I'll ever write that down during a prediction.
Here's the way I see it happening. I just see him, that unlikely guy who just kind of stays to himself, and Michael Che kind of sacrificing himself, eliminating Braun, and just kind of by force of not doing anything, Colin Jost will be the last man standing. I'm taking Colin Jost.
Okay. And he's confident, friends. Here we go. The rest of the list I have in reverse order from what they have on the WWE.com website. So the next one that I would have in this order would be for the SmackDown Tag Titles. It's your champions Usos versus The Bar versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev versus Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Such a hard. There's no real indication as to where they're going after WrestleMania with SmackDown Tag Division.
I agree. And the fact that Ricochet and Aleister Black could be coming into this NXT Tag Champions, because they're fighting for that on NXT tonight. And they're still not bringing those guys out with, they still have the NXT logos by their names when they come out. Have you noticed that?
Yes. It's very, I guess the word is annoying or confusing.
It's very confusing. So, I don't know. I'm accidentally going first here, but I feel like that's why I didn't pick them. I just don't think I didn't pick Ricochet and Aleister Black, and I thought that would be the best choice for it. So because it's not them, and I don't think they're going to give anything to Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev, it's either the Bar or the Usos. So keep it on the hot tag team. Keep it on the Usos.
I use the same logic as you. I actually think that Ricochet and Aleister Black may be bound for Raw. Don't know for sure. But that's where I think they might wind up. So I don't think a SmackDown title win's going to do it unless they're going to try to do some sort of unification, which I'd be for. I want less titles as opposed to more. So to me, it also came down to Usos versus The Bar. And I also wound up on the Usos.
Okay.
So far, we only disagree on Battle Royals. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I think that's going to shake out here in a little while.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it's going to shake out with the next match.
All right, what's the next match?
For the Intercontinental Championship, Bobby Lashley, I almost fell asleep just saying his name, versus not Finn Balor, the Demon.
I would have taken Finn Balor even before he announced he was coming as the Demon. And I'm doubling down on him now that I know he's coming as the Demon.
I'm going to give the Demon the same treatment I give Buddy Murphy and the same treatment I gave Roman Reigns in 2018. I'm just not picking against the Demon. I'm just not going to do it.
The Demon is not flawless on the main roster, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that.
I think you might be. I only remember a couple Demon matches. I mean, there was one that never happened because Bray Wyatt got a staph infection and then got JoJo pregnant. But remember, that was supposed to be the Demon Sister Abigail. I don't know what they were going to do there.
Oh,
but
yeah.
He won. The Demon actually won the Universal Championship.
That's true. But there was a pay-per-view. I want to say it was a SummerSlam, but I could be wrong. And I'm almost positive he is lost on the main roster as a Demon, but I'm not 100% positive.
Start digging around, fellas.
Yeah, if anyone wants, we can't. Oh, hold on.
Fact checking.
Hold on. Steve's right there for the safe. Thanks, Steve. The Demon has not lost in NXT or WWE, so I stand corrected. Thank you, Steve.
We are not picking against the Demon. Moving on. This was a tough one for me. Roman Reigns in his WrestleMania return, taking on the Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre, who's red hot.
Okay, so do you want me to start, or is it who? I forget. I'm sorry. I know
It doesn't matter. I can start if you'd like.
Well, here, you know what? This is a hard one for you. Let me start because I did a knee-jerk on this one.
Okay.
The returning Roman Reigns has been booked to look very weak. So I think the WrestleMania win will get him to be strong again. So that was my thought process there. I did not overthink this one.
So I thought that too. They have booked him to look very weak, and they've been booking Drew McIntyre to look like this unstoppable beast. And why not keep that going just a little bit longer? I mean, if you start having Roman Reigns just automatically beating and kicking out of everything again and doing everything he used to do with Roman Reigns, the leukemia rub is going to wear off, and that's what we're calling it, the leukemia, a little bit of magic leukemia dust is going to rub off and they're going to start booing him again. So
hashtag leukemia dust.
Yeah. So
actually, let's not do that.
Let's not do that. It got him over, and let's just say I like them playing him off as a bit of an underdog right now. It's working, and I think it continues. I have Drew McIntyre.
My only hesitation is that I don't think they want to book Drew McIntyre in a position to lose, and it may be some kind of schmozzy finish. But again, non-title matches, the winner is the guy who gets the pinfall, the V, essentially.
Sure.
And the W, I should say. And I still think Roman Reigns, I think that he's going to get his mojo back on Sunday.
It would make sense, but I went with Drew McIntyre anyways. This next match, it's hard to call it because I don't think this is going to happen, but we've got Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin in Kurt Angle's last match.
I agree. What do you think is going to happen? Because I have some ideas too.
I think this is an opportunity. We still haven't heard about Cena, and we haven't heard a word about The Undertaker, and I feel like this is the spot for either one of them.
Yeah,
Cena more than Taker.
I was talking to Travis about this yesterday. Travis and I went through the card, which helped me formulate some of my predictions today. Okay. And he was saying Taker also, and I'm like, I don't think Taker makes a ton of sense, but Cena does to me. So it is weird that we haven't had a mention of either one of them really on the road to WrestleMania, especially Undertaker. I think there's a good chance we're not going to see him. In fact, we can make that a separate prediction if you want to.
I don't think we're going to get through Mania without seeing Undertaker. I would almost – I'm 50-50 on that. I'm 100% sure we're going to see Cena. I really do feel like we're going to see Cena.
Well, I feel like this has got to be it. I don't know if it will be after a Corbin match or instead of a Corbin match, but this feels like a better way to wrap up Angle's career to me.
I think no matter what happens at the end of this all, Kurt Angle is the winner.
I agree. And I know that might sound funny, and I may have been like kind of swerving people all along with this. I do think they're going to go for the feel good here. I think that Corbin's a guy who can take a loss to Angle, and that's just kind of what his character is. He's also a guy that they haven't demonstrated a ton of faith in here lately. So I think they're going to go for the feel good here and give us Kurt Angle going out not on his back.
I agree. And it's going to be a feel good, and I think he's actually going to pin him and probably John Cena.
Boy, you know what? Maybe. Well, I got Angle. Angle's my choice.
Angle's my choice. We're moving on. Next, for the United States Championship, which I actually forgot Samoa Joe had.
Yeah, I thought for some reason that Rusev or Nakamura had it.
Yeah, I forgot completely. But
it's
Samoa
so
Joe
invisible.
has it now. They blew an opportunity for R-Truth and Cena. Pal. Blew it. Samoa Joe versus Rey Mysterio with Dominic, Eddie Guerrero's son, at ringside.
Yeah. So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can start because I didn't give this any thought whatsoever. Either by hook or by crook, by Dominic turning or whatever the heck, Samoa Joe wins. Rey Mysterio doesn't win a pay-per-views, and Samoa Joe needs a win.
Hey, give me 1 second, pal. Do you need in here?
No, I just need the word.
Okay. Oh, great. Perfect. Sorry about that. Yeah. So,
hi, Kendra.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That was Kendra. And by the way, we should be thankful because she volunteers an hour of studio time for us to do this. So
thank you, Kendra. Let me give you the Corey Graves.
We speak your name.
Yes, Kendra.
Okay. So I was a little distracted. You chose Rey?
No, I chose Joe. I don't think Rey wins the pay-per-views, and by hook or by crook, Joe's going to get the win here.
That's been, I feel like I kind of gave my secret. Never bet on Rey on a pay-per-view.
It's the opposite of the demon.
Rey, yeah, I just never bet on Rey on pay-per-view. You're not going to be 100%, but you're going to be pretty good.
Ready for a tough one, pal?
Sure.
AJ Styles versus Randy Orton.
Here's what I can tell you about this one. You're absolutely right. It's a tough one, but I just have a gut feeling on this one.
I'd love to hear it because I went back and forth.
I have really no. I guess I do have a reason. Okay, my choice is I'm doing the Corey Graves now. My choice is AJ Styles. My reason is he just re-signed on a top-level deal. They see him as a top-level player for the foreseeable future. I think they want to keep him strong. I've loved the promo work that's been going into this feud, and I'm excited for this match. I think it has the potential to be the best match of the night, and I'm going with AJ.
I hope they give the match the time that it needs to be the best match of the night, because it sure could be. I went with AJ Styles as well, pretty much for the same reasons. I didn't think of like him just signing the deal or anything, but I just feel like he's one of the darlings of the company right now, and he's one of the big faces of the company. And so Randy Orton can lose to AJ Styles, and it doesn't hurt him, and AJ Styles is going to get the win. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to do the Corey Graves, and while I do this, I'm going to bang Carmella underneath the desk.
Jerry did a much more accurate impersonation of Corey Graves than I did.
Yeah, see the wedding band? Doesn't matter. Corey Graves.
Tell me this. So far, only the Battle Royals we've disagreed on?
No, because I picked Drew McIntyre and you picked Roman Reigns.
Okay, right. Thank you. That's good to know. All right, what's next, pal?
Next, Raw. I'm sorry, not Raw. It's just women's tag titles for any show. Bayley and Sasha versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus the Iconics.
They're so hot to me.
I love them, and they're cutting good promos, I think.
So this came down. It was a 2-team race for me. For some reason, I just counted out the Iconics, and for some reason, I just counted out Beth Phoenix and Natalya. And it came down to the defending champs, Banks and Bayley, and Nia and Tamina, who seem like they actually do have something going on. And I am like, I mean, I could still flip a coin and pick, but I believe, let me double check. I have a document here on the ground. I picked Banks and Bayley.
I think Banks and Bayley, this is where the split up starts. Working to a SummerSlam feud. Finally, get that story. So I cut them out of it. I also think Beth Phoenix would get destroyed, and Natalya would get chewed alive at an NXT show. And the women's tag goes to all shows. So I don't think that they're going to win. And I think Beth Phoenix was just supposed to look stupid and be stupid through WrestleMania anyway.
So are you picking who I think you're picking?
So you've got Nia Jax and Tamina. I mean, they're total beasts, but they are not iconic.
Look at Valeri.
Taking the Iconics, pal. I think it's time.
Look at you. I love it. Okay.
Those women would be fun with the tag titles, don't you think? They'd be obnoxious.
I would love to see that. I support the Iconics, and I love that idea. I just don't see them winning on Sunday.
There we go. Got a disagreement.
All right, let's keep moving.
All right, let's take this podcast outside, maybe in the bathroom or, anywhere. Because falls count anywhere when Shane O'Mac takes on The Miz, who, by the way, convinced me during SmackDown that they're never going to have anything for Sanity. I mean, he beat all three. Poor Sanity. And I love how Sanity's now they're hitmen for Shane O'Mac. They're like henchmen for him. Mm-hmm. Nothing says anarchist collective like working for Shane O'Mac. Way to go, Sanity.
I mean, yeah, they're getting better luck NXT time, it sounds like.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. Shane O'Mac falls count anywhere, The Miz.
So I thought a little funny anecdote. I took a winner this morning for front row WWE tickets, which, by the way, our pal Steve won second row yesterday.
Congrats to Steve.
Yeah. So our winner today, my question was, who is The Miz fighting at WrestleMania on Sunday? The winner, his name was Christian. He said Shane McMahon, so he was right. I said, great job. What do you think Shane's going to jump off of this year? And he said the Empire State Building.
I'd have given him a second pair of tickets if I could.
I thought it was a great answer. So I'm sticking with my guns. If you go back a few episodes, I laid out what I think is going to happen. The fathers have kind of gotten involved with this storyline. I think that The Miz is going to make his dad proud. I think that Shane is going to disappoint his dad, which may lead to some sort of termination on Shane's part. You let me down, you're out of here kind of thing. But bottom line is, it comes down to, I see Shane losing and I see Miz winning.
They've been booking The Miz from underneath since Crown Jewel, pal. I mean, he's been kissing Shane's butt the whole way through this thing, and it's time for him to take the win. And so I wrote 4 words, very simply. Shane dies, Miz wins.
I wish we had more disagreements, but I'm enjoying this episode so far.
Because Shane's gonna dump off of something stupid.
At the Empire State Building, you watch.
Anything less, and I'll be disappointed. All right, here we go. No holds barred for the career of Paul Levesque, otherwise known as Triple H. It's Triple H and Batista, and it's just, and they're very specific. They say the in-ring career of Triple H on the line. I didn't
really pick up on that, Jer. You're right, though.
The in-ring career of Triple H. So I went just pretty simple. I think they're gonna have a good no-holds-barred match. A lot of smoke and mirrors to hide any ring rust either one of them may have.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to put on a classic or basic Triple H Batista match. And I think that at the end of this, the one that's been playing the heel the whole time and doing an excellent job of it, I think Batista gets his last match. He gets his WrestleMania match with Triple H, but he's gotten wins over Triple H before, and he's not coming back anymore. Triple H still has to live here. So I have Triple H winning.
Yeah, I didn't go into as much of the booking part of it as you did, but we came to the same result. We really know it's Batista's it's his swan song, so to speak. Triple H, as you said, it's his home, and yeah, we wound up in the same spot. Triple H there for me too.
And I'll tell you what, people will bomb on Batista, and we've been harsh on him a couple times, but I have a soft spot for him. Not only did we have lunch with him, but he came into our morning show with Rob and I years ago on the build to the first big match, the big WrestleMania with Triple H.
Yeah, 21.
And he was so wonderful in the studio. He was a good sport.
It was great.
We told him that Rob was making fun of his tattoo. He was a good sport. He was fun. He told stories. He was just a really nice guy. And now I can say I had hot wings with Drax the Destroyer. And so I'm always going to root for Batista, but I love Triple H too. So I'm excited for this match. Just kind of, I don't know, I have a soft spot.
I agree. I'm the same way. I don't look forward to Batista matches, to be honest, probably for the same reasons as you. But when I see him, I'm always reminded about that interview right on the crest of his popularity and the wings that we had at Hooters.
It really was. Like he was halfway between the fourth guy in Evolution to main eventer at WrestleMania. He was like right in between them.
Yeah, it was right on the build of the WrestleMania that made him an icon in the business.
Yeah. So, you're going to get a Batista bomb. You're going to get a pedigree. You're going to get a sledgehammer. You're going to get blue sunglasses, and we're going to get out of it. That's how it's going to go. Next match for the Universal Championship. The reigning, defending, blah, 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 versus the Beast Slayer, Seth freaking Rollins.
Is this one easy for you?
I thought it would be. Then I started thinking, well, yeah. Raw left a bad taste in my mouth. Raw left a bad taste in my mouth.
What do you mean?
I'm not happy. I'll just go ahead and say it. I hope I'm wrong. I have Brock Lesnar. I think we're not going to get rid of that son of a bitch. I don't think he's going to lose to Seth Rollins. When Seth Rollins beat him in the balls on Monday and left him laying, I thought there's no way he's going to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. This is what we're stuck with. We're stuck with him at least through SummerSlam. This is the worst. I hope I'm wrong. I have Brock Lesnar.
I hope you're right. But I think you're wrong. I'm taking Seth.
Oh, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I'm rooting for you here, pal. I'm rooting for you. I think Brock Lesnar is going to win this stupid son of a gun again.
So it comes down to this for me. Brock Lesnar was the plan. I don't know if we want to call it plan B or plan C to Roman Reigns' leukemia dust. And I don't think they really had plans for him into 2019 with the championship, but here we are. And it's funny because you had so much story, you had so much pomp and circumstance going into when Roman tried to conquer the beast at WrestleMania last year, and it didn't happen. But I think with much less fanfare, because they tried to, for the past few weeks, but it's Seth versus Brock. The investment with the fans is much less to me than it was with Roman versus Brock. But I do think that they are going to maybe start phasing Brock out starting Sunday. I got Rollins.
I hope you're right. Whoa, Rollins. Okay. I have Brock Lesnar. I have Brock Lesnar because there's no way the WWE is going to give people what they want the whole way down the road. They're not going to make everybody happy in every match on this card. And so Brock Lesnar, I think, is going to beat Seth Rollins, and it's going to be a cacophony of boos.
Okay, we're going to see what happens.
Next.
I still love defending Brock.
Don't get me started. For the WWE Heavyweight Championship, held currently by Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, finally, we have Kofi Kingston. It's official. Kofi Kingston's in the match, baby. Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan. Here we go. Kofi
okay.
Kingston.
So I want to say something about this.
Okay.
So yesterday I was talking to Travis, and he told me something that made me change my mind on this match. However, I reverted back to my original opinion this morning. Okay. I thought for sure when I went to sleep last night I was going to be saying the opposite guy. But what Travis told me, because I'll admit it's been a day or two since I've been on the wrestling sites. He tells me, we know this is true. Here, you know what? Here's two things that we know. We know, one, there's going to be another Saudi Arabia show shortly after Mania. Right? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And then two is Daniel Bryan does not go to the Saudi Arabia shows. He refuses. Which really got me thinking, combined with the build that we've had for this match, maybe it is convenient for Kofi to win that title. It feels like to me he's not of championship ilk. I don't know how else to describe it.
Rob, are you calling him a B-plus player? You bastard. Are you calling Kofi Kingston a B-plus player like Vince McMahon?
I'm not calling him a B-plus player, so to speak. I think that he's perceived as a B-plus player.
I'm checking the dates for the Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I appreciate that. I'm curious.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going while I'm looking.
So basically, I was convinced that, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. I don't think that Daniel's going to go to Saudi Arabia. And it makes sense that they would have a heavyweight title match at the show. But my gut's really telling me Bryan on this one. I don't know how else to describe it. I really feel good about Bryan winning. So I switched back to Daniel, and I'm curious where Valeri falls.
So I will tell you that they say that the previous reports of the Saudi Arabia card for Friday, May 3rd, no longer appears to be the case, and it has been changed. The Saudi Arabia show will now be Friday, June 7th. So that's a far cry away.
Wow. Look at that.
So Saudi Arabia, June 7th.
My last day as a 35-year-old.
Listen, the mirror imaging they're doing with this entire build. I mean, they're making Daniel Bryan the big bad guy that Daniel Bryan fought against at his WrestleMania moment. They're making Kofi Kingston into the Yes Movement Daniel Bryan, and it's been brilliant how they've done it. It really has been.
I agree with what you said.
And everybody knows how that ended. And what an incredible WrestleMania moment that was. And we've been talking for years how WWE is trying to manufacture these moments, and they want to have another organic, crazy, awesome, natural Daniel Bryan Yes Movement moment at WrestleMania. And so it seems like an absolute no-brainer that Kofi Kingston just goes in there and gives the crowd exactly what they want and wins the championship from Daniel Bryan. It's a no-brainer. However, the WWE sometimes like to swerve for swerve's sake, and Daniel Bryan I don't think you can point to anybody on that SmackDown roster right now that is better holding the championship than him. Cutting better promos, telling better stories, having better matches, being a better heel. It's Daniel Bryan. And I wrote Daniel Bryan too, and I did not think we would agree, because I feel like, Rob, you and I are the only ones thinking Daniel Bryan's going to win this at WrestleMania. I think everyone else thinks it's a foregone conclusion that Kofi Kingston wins it, but I don't think he's going to.
I don't either. By the way, what you were saying about Daniel Bryan, I consider that one of the last true magical moments at or even of wrestling. That moment when Daniel won the title and that whole Yes movement up to it, that was what wrestling is supposed to do to us. That was magic.
It was awesome, and they want to have it again, but this isn't the spot for it.
All right, so we agree on that one too. Where are we next?
We're at the main event. Winner takes all. I'm assuming this is going to, I mean, maybe not at Mania, and maybe not even at the Raw after Mania, but is this leading us to a unification of the championships, Rob?
Honestly, I saw Mike talking about this yesterday, and it got me thinking. I want it to, but right now, I'm saying I doubt it. I don't feel confident in that answer, and I'm pulling for them too. Like I said, I want less titles. But I'm not anytime soon.
You got Ronda Rousey, the WWE Raw Women's Champion, versus the newly crowned SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, versus the man, Becky Lynch. It's winner take all.
Which is so weird.
It is weird. I mean, they've made a feud that was able to tell itself, a story that could tell itself, and they made it really complicated. It complicated the hell out of it.
Here's one of my problems, and if we would have done a Raw review, this would have been one of my biggest complaints. So management has this huge problem with Becky Lynch. So why are they making it where she can win both titles? It makes no sense.
That's a good point.
The only person that benefits is Becky by making that change. She's now the only one with nothing to lose.
You're absolutely right.
So booking flaw, in my opinion.
Huge booking flaw.
I don't mind getting things started. My answer, I will say, I did not come to this easily. I was flipping back between all three of them, specifically Charlotte and Becky. But I think that what we were just talking about with the magical moments, Becky Mania. The conclusion I've come to is Becky Mania. I don't think Charlotte is a bad answer. I think Ronda is unlikely, but still possible. But I think they're going to try to make that WrestleMania 30 magic happen when Daniel Bryan won the title. It's not going to be with Kofi. It's going to be with Becky. That's my prediction.
To be fair, if Kofi was ending the show with Daniel Bryan, I would pick Kofi. After last year, after the past couple of years with Roman and then with Brock, they don't want to end WrestleMania with boos again, I don't think, for a while. And so they're going to end it. They want to end it on a huge moment, a good moment. They're going to send WrestleMania fans home happy. I agree wholeheartedly that it's the man, Becky Lynch. And that is why I chose Brock Lesnar and Daniel Bryan, because they're not going to make everybody happy. I mean, if they wanted to make everybody happy, it's Seth Rollins, Kofi Kingston, and Becky Lynch would all win. That's not going to happen. I think Becky will be the one that wins.
So we have very few disagreements out of 16 matches. What's it, 3, 4?
Yeah, but the ones we have are pretty interesting. So, I mean, start up at the top. We've got the women's battle royal and the men's battle royal. So we disagreed on those. We could both be wrong with those. Then it's Roman Reigns. You chose him and I chose Drew McIntyre. Then the women's tag titles. You took Sasha Banks and Bayley and I took the Iconics. And then you took Seth Rollins and I took Brock Lesnar. That's 5.
Okay, that's solid. Yeah, you know what? That's solid. That's solid.
One of the 3 main events we disagree on.
Let me ask you one last question, Jer, before we get out of here.
Sure.
I'll reword it. Is the match you're most looking forward to the main event?
Not anymore. It was for a while, and I'm really looking forward to Daniel Bryan and Kofi Kingston.
Okay, let me reword then. Did WWE make the right choice by putting the women on last, or are they forcing it?
They made the right choice. No, this is the right choice.
I agree.
They didn't force it. If anything, they convoluted what was the no-brainer main event. They made it more complicated than it needed to be, and through some pretty inconsistent and bad storytelling, they gave it a few dings that it didn't deserve, but it's the main event. It is the main event of this entire card. I agree.
Also, I will say I'm kind of happy now that Charlotte's in it. I feel like Charlotte has brought something to this, and I agree. I think that this feels natural to me. I feel like it's lightning in a bottle. I feel like this is the high point of women's storytelling in all of wrestling. And I do think, I'm happy to say that when the women main evented WrestleMania, it was the right choice.
And I'm so glad that it is, because it was going to happen whether it was or not.
Right, yeah.
They were going to make a women's match the main event of this WrestleMania, even if we didn't have the skyrocketing Becky Lynch. I mean, Becky Lynch is the biggest in the company right now.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree that they were going to, I think that they would have been quite comfortable not making that the main event if there was something else that was hotter.
Oh, see, I think that they're still kind of in this, we want to make history mode.
I mean, they are, but I think that the WrestleMania main event would have taken precedent over that.
And the last thing I wanted to ask you before I have to go, it's not, we would have talked about it on Tuesday if we had the opportunity. Did you see the John Oliver thing about Vince McMahon?
I've read about it. I have not seen it.
All right. Well, then we won't talk about it. I'd like you to watch it, and I'd like your thoughts on it.
Can do. I didn't keep you. I forgot that you had a hard out today. Did I keep you past your time?
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm talking to Charlie Daniels of the Charlie Daniels Band at noon, and I just needed to look. All I know is that that's the dude that does Devil Went Down to Georgia. I need to have more than that when I get him on the phone.
Ask him who he thinks is going to win at WrestleMania.
You know what? I think I'll ask him, pal.
Thank you for your time. I'm sorry I kept you over. I forgot that you even said you had a hard out today. I apologize.
I would have reminded you if it was really that pressing. Like I saw the time. We were good. I've missed you. I've missed the Post to Post universe.
Same.
And I can't wait to see your baby.
that makes two of us, pal. Hey, listen, we really want your predictions today. Will you send me a picture of them, Jared, too, please?
I'll send a picture of them. Even if, listen, and I get it, writing 16 winners down can be tiresome. If you just want to pick like 5 or 6 of your favorites, that's okay too. We just want to know what you think about the card.
All right, guys, I don't have theme music today because of the weird stuff, but thank you, everybody, for watching. And hopefully on Monday, we'll be able to bring you the better audio, but we should be able to do an episode no matter what on Monday.
And the episode undoubtedly will be iconic.